This is ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Alan Cohn, and welcome to ABC7 at 7. Topping our news tonight, sometimes we are in awe and dazzled by the show Mother Nature puts on, but make no mistake about it, the lightning that dazzles us is dangerous and deadly. Sarasota County is confirming a woman is dead after being struck by lightning this afternoon. It happened in the 2500 block of Coconut Avenue in Sarasota late this afternoon. Emergency responders found a 50-year-old woman dead in a gazebo, which caught fire. The woman has not been identified. We'll have more details as they become available. And Bob, this is what happens on days like this.
You got it right. This is known as lightning capital of North America, right here, anywhere from Tampa to Lakeland, all the way down to Fort Myers. And Florida leads the nation in deaths each and every year, and so far they're doing it this year. 7 deaths in this state for 2016, and there's been 31 across the United States. And it was dangerous, especially when we were on the air during The View showing right around 4:15, 4:30, a tremendous amount of lightning strikes in just a short period of time, kind of converging over that area, also into Manatee County. So even though the rain may not be, and the lightning may not be occurring where you're at, and the rain may be falling very lightly, you can still get hit with bolts from the blue, which are energized with a lot more energy and amperage and can start fires like we saw there, and even into homes can burn down at times. Well, here's a look at the Van Wezel webcam. Unfortunately, a lot of rain around Friday Fest. Not having a good night at all. More than likely, they moved indoors. It's been raining there periodically throughout the last couple of hours, and still some showers around. The news is, though, the showers are starting to wind down a little bit. We still see some activity building east of Arcadia. This indicates that the atmosphere is very juiced up right now. You can see that activity right there into Arcadia right now, and that, again, is pushing in the other direction toward the southwest. And Northport getting some heavy rainfall. Right now, the Palmetto game is delayed until 8 o'clock. They were to start at 7:30. That has been delayed. Football Friday night taking place, and it's going to be a mutter out there because all the fields are pretty much soaked. But the good news is that the lightning is starting to move out into the Gulf of Mexico, although we just saw a stroke right there near Pinellas County. So again, some light rain. There's a couple of bolts from the blue. That's indicating the blue right there, higher amperage into Sarasota Bay at this point. And some light to moderate rain on Siesta Key near Turtle Beach, stretching off into Gulf Gate. And then down south is by far where the heaviest rainfall is into Northport. And just noticed a couple of 5 minutes ago, another area of lightning is starting to develop, indicating the atmosphere is very juiced up at this point. And it will take until 8:26 for this line right here to get through Inglewood. So you get the picture. There's a lot of rain around and still a lot of lightning. We've had over 2 inches in some isolated areas. I want to get to the tropics real quick. This system, although looking a little bit healthier, we don't see a lot of convection near the center. We'll have to watch it very closely. Over the weekend, there are some indications that it could become a tropical storm on Monday and then eventually go into the Gulf of Mexico. What we can expect is the possibility of some heavy rainfall here. Looks like on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, depending upon the future path and track of the storm. There's a lot of ifs on this one, Alan, so what we have to do is watch it very closely over the weekend. The good news is that it hasn't strengthened, which it was supposed to do according to the European model by this time, so that has not happened. More on our weather at 11.
It'll still be interesting to see how that affects primary day.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, thanks a lot, Bob. Some wicked weather out there this afternoon, but you don't need rain to have a flood. Almost 24 businesses in Sarasota will have to go days without water because of a major water main break. A 12-inch water main broke yesterday, flooding sections of Bee Ridge Road near McIntosh. More than 24 hours later, the pipe is now fixed, and the county is reopening 2 lanes of traffic. Boil water advisories remain in place until at least Sunday for nearby buildings, including for nearly 250 residents at a Brookdale Senior Living Facility. Now to Venice, where Florida Power and Light is taking precautions against severe weather. The company is burying some power lines and strengthening others with new concrete poles able to withstand winds of up to 130 miles per hour. Tree limbs are also being cut away from existing power lines. FPL officials say the work will help avoid outages during severe weather. And still to come, Amendment 4, Amendment 1. They both claim to be pro-solar, but they are generating controversy. We'll help explain the impact of both of the measures when we come back.
ABC7 News at 7, weeknights.
Don't Don't miss the Weddings of Sarasota 16th Annual Wedding Show at the iconic Sarasota Municipal Auditorium on US 41, Sunday, August 28th from noon to 4 p.m. The runway show is on the stage at 3 p.m. Enjoy hors d'oeuvres and live entertainment. $2,000 in Weddings of Sarasota dollars will be given away after the runway show, but you must be present to win. Make sure to pre-register at weddingsofsarasota.com. Brides and grooms are free if registered by midnight, August 26th. Guests only $5. Weddings of Sarasota. Register today.
Attention! This is an important message for anyone who had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to their heart or lungs. Did your IVC filter move, break, or cause organ damage? The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, even death. If you or a loved one suffered serious complications, call IVC Filter Helpline now. You may be entitled to compensation. IVC filters are designed to prevent blood clots. If your IVC filter moved or broke and you suffered heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, or if a loved one died as a result, call IVC Filter Helpline today. Our network of experienced attorneys is ready to fight for you. You'll pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call today for a free confidential consultation. Don't fight this alone. Call IVC Filter Helpline now.
Please call 800-897-6764. That is 800-897-6764.
It's funny, but not in a good way. We may be the Sunshine State. We rank third in the nation in solar energy potential, but we rank only 14th in the country in terms of usage of solar panels. Voters will soon consider two different solar amendments, one on primary day next week and another in November. And as Adam Cellini tells us, the ballot amendments reflect two drastically different solar futures in Florida.
Out east of I-75, Sarasota's Triple J Ranch is in many ways a model for sustainability. The fields feed the livestock and the animals return the favor. But 6 years ago, the ranch added a modern touch to make other operations self-sufficient.
It's basically designed to produce enough power for the ranch and then the ability to actually sell back excess electricity to the utility company.
The 300-panel system wasn't cheap, over $350,000, which is included in Triple J's property taxes every year. Local contractor Tom Harriman installed the system, but says other businesses are wary to do the same.
It's a huge barrier. It's just another added expense on top of putting the installation in, which affects the affordability of the installation on a long-term basis.
That's why Harriman, a board member of the Florida Solar Energy Industries Association, has campaigned hard for Amendment 4, which would remove the value of solar equipment on commercial property taxes. It will be the only amendment on this year's August 30th ballot, but one solar proponents say voters should take a very careful look at, as it could define the future of solar energy here in Florida. Solar equipment is already exempt from residential property tax and sales tax, not to mention a 30% federal tax credit.
This was really one of the last ones that we see that needs to get in place to complete more activity, more solar installations in the state of Florida.
The amendment drew bipartisan support in the Florida legislature and also a thumbs up from top power players like Duke Energy, who said in a statement that they are pro-solar and supportive of ideas that advance solar so long as consumers are protected. However, the bill's few opponents worry consumers who can't afford solar won't be protected, rather footing the bill for those who remove themselves from the grid. Economist Kristen Zaborski says the claim is worth considering.
I suspect Florida Power and Light or Duke Energy, out of the goodness of their heart, they're not going to take on that extra cost themselves. How much will get passed on to the consumer is still definitely up for grabs.
Florida Power and Light lumps together its support of Amendment 4 and Amendment 1 coming up this fall, saying they both support solar in a way that is fair to all. But solar activists call Amendment 1's claim of protecting consumers a diversion.
It's just a cloud behind what their actual intent is to protect their their own utility profit.
Utility companies have put millions behind the campaign for Amendment 1, which opponents like Harriman believe will unravel private solar incentives like net metering, a practice that requires utility companies to credit properties that produce more power than they use in a year. They worry it could also restrict private operations from selling their excess solar power to their neighbors.
If Amendment 1 passes, it basically will block the sun for everyone in the state of Florida.
But would tax breaks and net metering be enough to make solar as convenient as signing up with a major utility? Zaborski is not so sure.
There's a reason why I don't drive a hybrid. It's still expensive for me. And it's the same for why I don't have 3 or 4 solar panels. It's still cost prohibitive.
A recent Florida Chamber of Commerce poll of over 600 voters revealed that 70% were in favor of Amendment 4. But as soon as August 30th passes, Harriman says the Florida Solar Energy Industries Association will be switching all its resources towards campaigning against Amendment 1 in November. In Sarasota, Adam Cellini. Alan, back to you.
According to figures released today by the Energy and Policy Institute, Florida's energy utilities have donated close to $14.5 million directly to Consumers for Smart Solar. That's the group backing Amendment 1 in November. More on the solar energy amendments with our roundtable when we come back.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again, and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-476-8967. 1-800-476-8967.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
And joining us for more on the upcoming votes on solar energy amendments are Bill Johnson, president of Brilliant Harvest, and joining us by Skype is Dr. Yogi Goswami, the director of Clean Energy Research Center at the University of South Florida. Gentlemen, thank you both for joining us today. You know, here's where we want to begin. From a marketing standpoint, this is really confusing because basically if you are for having solar in your home, you basically would lean to voting yes on Amendment 4 next week and no on Amendment 1 in November. As the Tampa Times said just today, it's unusual and potentially a bit confusing for any interest group to send voters 2 different messages at the same time.
It certainly is. There's no question about it. It's a kind of a artifact of our wacky politics here in Florida, but you know, the amendment that's going to be voted on next week, Amendment 4, is a bipartisan, you know, initiative that would really benefit everybody in the state of Florida in terms of adopting solar. By basically what Amendment 4 does is it removes tangible personal property taxes on solar arrays on businesses. And so if you own a business and you want to put solar on your building, Today, you would be taxed on that every single year based on the tangible personal property value of those panels. So this would eliminate that tax. And that would allow businesses to adopt solar, which currently is very difficult to do because of those taxes.
Dr. Goswami, the utility industry is in favor of Amendment 1 that will be voted on in November. Are you for that or against that? And how do you respond to the utility industry that says that that is the best pathway forward for solar energy usage here in Florida?
I disagree with the utility industry for this amendment because, in my view, this amendment doesn't do anything to promote solar in this state.
Could you?
So I would recommend voting against Amendment 1 in November.
Can you tell me how in the world we are the Sunshine State and we only rank 14th in the nation in terms of the availability of solar panels?
Well, it's unfortunate that we have fallen behind in solar energy. I remember back in the early 70s, state of Florida was the global leader in solar energy. Most of the solar energy equipment, that means the panels and other things, they were being manufactured in the state of Florida. It created a lot of jobs. Unfortunately, certain things happened and that killed part of that industry. But now is the time to bring that industry back here, increase employment in this state. So that means anything we can do to encourage greater use of solar energy. That's what we should be promoting.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and we have talked about this a lot of time. What exactly happened in the late 1970s, or actually early 1980s, is that the Reagan administration canceled a tax incentive for homeowners to put up solar panels. Is that not correct?
That is exactly correct. And it wasn't really just killing the tax incentives. It was the way it was that killed the industry. That 1 year the tax incentive was 40% of tax credit. And after December 31st, it went from 40% to 0%. And so what happened, a lot of people bought a lot of that equipment up to December 31, and then for the next 1 year, nobody was buying equipment in the state of Florida, so naturally that industry could not survive. If that had been done gradually, industry might have adapted, but it was the way it was done that really killed the industry.
Bill, why is the utility industry so opposed to Amendment 4 in terms of how does that adversely, I mean, I guess there's an obvious answer to it, but if you could explain why it actually threatens the utility industry.
Well, Amendment 4 basically allows more people to do solar that really can't afford to do it today. By eliminating that tax, it makes solar more affordable. And the reason that that's an issue with the utility companies is that they see that as a loss of revenue on their part. If somebody's got solar panels on their roof that's producing electricity, they don't need to buy that electricity from the utility company. And so the utility companies have been very opposed to any legislation or amendment that would promote more adoption of solar in the state of Florida.
Dr. Goswami, what difference does it make whether we're getting solar energy from panels that homeowners are putting up on the roofs of their homes, or whether the utilities are putting up their own solar panel fields, which they are, in fact, both in the Tampa Bay area and around the state?
You're right that whether the panels are on a homeowner's roof or whether the panels are in a central plant that a utility has built doesn't really make a lot of difference. I mean, from the utility point of view, I can say that they feel they can control it more if they are doing it. But on the other hand, my advice to the utilities is rather than oppose something that is good for the environment, good for the state, good for jobs, they should find ways that allow them to make money for their shareholders, but not oppose things that really encourage people to put solar on their roofs, whether that's homeowners or whether that's small businesses.
You've expressed that position before, and I also understand that you've gotten a lot of pushback from the industry.
I mean, I have a lot of friends in the utility industry, and they ask for my advice. I talk to them, but I always, and I can see that some of them are doing a lot for solar energy and renewable energy in other states. And I would like them to do that in the state of Florida so that the customers here in the state benefit from it, and we increase employment in this state that solar energy will bring.
Bill, what's the difference between doing it in other states and doing it here?
Well, it has to do with the regulatory environment that we have here in Florida. You know, today we have basically one utility is allowed to sell electricity in a given geographic territory, and in these other markets in other states, they have open competition. And so some of the biggest utilities in Florida are actually very big renewable energy providers in other states, but not here in Florida. And Dr. Goswami makes a couple of very good points. You know, the first is that there is an opportunity here to create a win-win, actually a win-win-win, because we can create policy in Florida that creates jobs, helps homeowners, and benefits the utility companies. It doesn't have to be a win-lose relationship.
We have less than a minute left. What happens if Amendment 4 passes next week and also Amendment 1 passes in November?
So if Amendment 4 passes, that would certainly be a big boost to solar adoption in the state of Florida. If Amendment 1 passes in November, there really will be no change to the current policy. And that's what's interesting about Amendment 1 is that it really almost does nothing in terms of changing the law. It just takes the existing regulatory framework and puts it into the Constitution, which is kind of strange.
I hope we got this all straightened out for everyone. Bill, Dr. Goswami, thank you for being here, and we'll be back in just a moment with viewer comments.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
Call right now to get your free Senior Care Compass ebook. Find out about the 5 best-kept secrets on financing senior care and assisted living.
Call now, 800-290-0352. 800-290-0352.
It's Lincoln's summer sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKZ for only $299 per month, or a 2016 Lincoln MKX, Lincoln's premium sports utility vehicle, for $339 per month. We also have a great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Drive with the confidence of a 6-year, 100,000-mile comprehensive warranty and complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, family owned and operated, and winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Just because someone grows older, does that mean they have to grow apart from their friends or from the things they love to do? With Right at Home, it doesn't. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to help with personal care, housekeeping, meals, and most of all, staying engaged in life.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you ready to go?
Oh, I sure am.
We can provide the right care right at home.
Welcome back. Last night we brought you the profile of the man making affordable housing a reality here on the Suncoast. Harvey Vengroff operates 1,600 apartments in Sarasota and Bradenton. Many of them are former motels converted into single-bedroom apartments. Here is what you have to say about Mr. Vengroff. Candace McLean writes, "This is wonderful. Bless this man. Support his efforts. You may be on the receiving end of a project like this one day." William Myers writes, "Low-rent apartments, one small room with a bathroom for $625 a month. What a ripoff." And Vanessa Ganecha writes, "All that matters is having a roof over your head. I am a single mom, and it makes me sympathetic. If people are vetted for criminal records and income, the place can be kept clean and affordable for those who truly need and deserve the opportunity for this." Well, if you'd like to join the conversation about tonight's topic, just visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/news@7. And we also want to remind all of you that beginning on Monday, ABC7 at 7 will be expanding to an hour-long format. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire will now be airing at 10 a.m. And that is all the time we have for this evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alan Cohn, and have a great weekend.